Jamel Herring defeating Lamont Roach. And I got to say, Gary was wrong on this one. Ha ha. But before I jump to the squad, 92 Aku bring up a great matchup for Nikita Ababi, Nico Macias.
I was thinking that.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good matchup. But Jamel Herring versus Lamont Roach Jr., really, a decent fight. Nothing that's going to be a fight of the year contender at all, but for a Jamel Herring fight, above average in entertainment value, and especially for Lamont Roach Jr., who I think is not really an entertaining fighter, above average for him as well. And a fight that really played on this dynamic. Was Roach able to get on the inside? If he was landing shots. If he couldn't, Herring was able to stick him with the jab, stick him with counters, and laterally move out the side door and just keep turning him all night. In the parts of the rounds where Roach did get on the inside, he was landing shots. I thought this was a fun fight for what it was and what the matchup could have been, to be honest, because I was expecting a really bad fight here, to be honest, but it was above average in boxing entertainment value. Guys, thoughts on Herring, Roach, and thoughts on Herring's next fight? Is it going to be Miguel Berchelt?
I'll go. First, couple thoughts. First off, Bomac is doing a heck of a job with Jamel Herring. He should be considered for trainer of the year just based on what he's done with Herring. I look at Herring, I see a guy with, good fundamentals, but limited upside. And he's making the most out of him. Herring, in his last two fights, has looked really, really good. I didn't know that Lamont Roach was going to have no – I knew he wasn't a jabber, but I didn't know his jab was going to be non-existent. Like, he just tried with hooks to get inside, with left hooks, and like, I know you're not going to jab that much with a southpaw anyway, but, like, come on. You got to try to jab on the inside at some point. If lunging in with hooks isn't working, you got to jab from the outside a little bit to try to set other things up. And there was at no point did he ever try to work the jab. It was just, okay, I'm going to try to lunge in with a hook and try to get on the inside. It's like, with a guy, and look, Herring, his jab is really good. His footwork is really good. Like, he's got a lot of fundamentals that are good, but there's just no more gears after that, right? Like,
there's not a lot of power there. That limits him at the top level. And plus, I don't think he's like the best athlete per se, right?
No. Yeah, he's a good enough athlete to compete at this level, and his fundamentals, his jab is really good from the southpaw stance. He's a good fighter. It's just Bomac's teaching him how to score. Like, he scored with a bunch of right hands to the body from range. Like, it was good. Left hands from the body, from range. Like, good things. Bomac's not trying to get him in there and knock people out. He's just trying to get in there and have him score more and have him win rounds, and he's doing a really good job at that.
Yeah, the maximization of Herring's potential, which wasn't that much, is truly amazing. Like, he really shouldn't be winning these fights in the fashion that he is, because Lamont Roach is the better athlete. I think he's the heavier hitter, too. It didn't matter, though. Herring has optimized his skill set, optimized his punching technique to the best of ability when he's not the best athlete, is not the heaviest hitter, and therefore he's able to win these fights. Foo, thoughts on Herring and Roach?
Yeah, overall it was a really good fight. It was entertaining. Roach just loads up on hooks. That's like his thing, and if they land, it's like that moment in the ninth round or something. Ninth round, I think he nearly put Herring down, and Herring had to hang on for the last 8 seconds or so of the round. But outside of that, it was all Herring controlling the distance with the jab and counter punching, and then moving out, and then kind of resetting the fight over and over. I don't know. Herring and Berchelt, Berchelt's gonna win that fight so easy. As much as Bomac's done with him, I just don't think that Berchelt's gonna have any trouble there.
What about, I know this fight doesn't happen because I think we get Berchelt-Valdez before anything, but what about a Herring-Valdez fight? Who wins that fight now that Valdez is at 130? You all know my opinion about Valdez, so
you're
my
taking
pick.
Herring, right?
Of course I am. He's a southpaw that can box well. He is outboxing Oscar Valdez. Absolutely.
I would have picked Valdez before yesterday. Now I'm not so sure. Herring really has his style down, right? If it goes to the scorecard, I don't know how Valdez wins enough rounds. So I would pick Herring probably on points. I just think Herring's going to put enough rounds in the bank to take a decision.
I think that's a true 50-50 fight, and it's going to depend on Valdez, you know? Like, there's moments where I feel like Valdez looks, you know, really good, and there's moments where he just gets into really dumb exchanges and gets hurt.
But, Fu, do you think that Valdez can go win 7 rounds and win a decision, or would he have to knock him out?
I think he'd have to at least knock him down a couple of times to take enough points off to get the win, but he could win a decision, but he's going to have some knockdowns. And that could happen easily because Herring, I think, is susceptible to being knocked down.
Yes.
You know,
he's been knocked out before.
You know, but it doesn't matter if he just keeps Valdez at the end of a jab and, you know, catches him with counters and just dances around him the whole night, because I don't think Valdez is that good of a boxer, you know? So.
Moving on to the co-main event, Kubrat Pulev versus Rydell Booker. I didn't watch this one because I was warned ahead of time that this is one of the worst fights of the year. So I have no thoughts on this performance or fight because I didn't watch it, and I'm probably not going to. Gary, I know you watched it, unfortunately.
If anyone gets a chance to watch this fight, don't.
Just
Yeah.
Don't.
I mean, Kubrat Pulev is not
exciting.
an exciting person anyways. And from what I saw of the fight, Booker, the other guy, was just super negative, doing anything he could to stay in the fight, basically. You know? So, yeah.
It was one of the worst fights I'd ever seen. It's like Pulev is so much better. Like, and at no point did he ever go to the body. This guy's 100 pounds overweight with his big belly hanging out. Like, don't you try to let me work his body a little bit? Like, and I think Pulev threw 3 body shots in the whole fight. It's like, I'm just going to jab, throw a right hand, hold, and then we're going to do that for, was it 10 or 12 rounds? I think it was 10 rounds, right? It was, I mean, this was awful. It was truly awful.
I agree completely.
I think about heavyweight boxing, quite honestly, but
heavyweight boxing is the worst thing that's ever been invented, period. And Fu, please turn down your gain if you can.
Oh, I did, bro. I'm sorry.
I can hear you breathing. And I know it's you because when I mute you only, that sound stops. But Gary, now that you're back, lovely to have you back on the show.
It's good to be back.
I know you don't want to talk about Pulev, but we have to. Pulev being the IBF mandatory.
Oh, boy.
Just thoughts on, like, because we're in this weird situation where we have Ruiz Joshua obviously happening in a month, right? For the WBO and the IBF and the WBA, right? Yes. And the WBO and the IBF are both up, and they both want to sort of strip the winner of that championship for some reason. And from all of that I have heard, now maybe like Leonard Sterling like in the chat, maybe somebody that, you know, listens to a lot more interviews than I do, has heard differently. But from the most of what I have heard, Eddie has said, we're giving up the WBO, if that's the case, and we're going to the IBF Mando, which would be Kubrat Pulev. And so just thoughts on that potentially happening, that we have a situation where maybe, let's say, AJ or Andy Ruiz wins on December, the WBO is vacant, and you have a Usyk Chisora fight for the vacant WBO belt, and the winner of Ruiz Joshua has to fight Kubrat Pulev. Thoughts on that potential outcome?
Okay, couple of thoughts. Like, first of all, Eddie Hearns assuming that Anthony Joshua is going to beat Ruiz, which we both know is not going to happen. I don't know. Ruiz will still have those belts. Now, what Ruiz is probably going to have to vacate one of them.
Yes.
Unless they can pay someone step aside money or something. I don't want Pulev to be heavyweight champ of the world for personal reasons. Like, I don't like him. So I'd rather, but then again, I don't want him to get that big payday where he fights the heavyweight champ of the world. So I don't know what I want, right? Like, if they vacate, then he gets to be heavyweight champ of the world, likely.
And probably
he gets a big payday and gets a fight, you know.
And think about it, if he gets a vacant title shot opportunity, think about that matchup, what it could be.
That's what I'm thinking. He'll probably win. It'll probably be against some guy, the heavyweight Carlos Ocampo, right? Like,
to bring Chigayev out from the fucking woodwork.
So I don't want that, and I don't want him to actually get the big money fight. I want Wilder to fight him in the interim because the other guys will beat him, but Wilder will lay him out, and that's what I want to see happen.
I'll be honest. I think any Pulev fight we see is going to be a bad fight. So like I don't. It's like I just want to take that L at the top, so we don't need to talk about Pulev anymore at the top. You know what I mean?
Because he's a top 10 guy, and he is. You came up with 10. You couldn't put 10 guys ahead of him. I don't think.
I think we could. We can make the argument.
10-ish. I think he's in the top 10.
He's top 15 for sure. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I can probably think of 10 guys that would beat him. Like maybe like Adam Wanaki. Does he beat Pulev?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's those guys that maybe don't have the career that Pulev has, right? Because Pulev's been in the game for 10, 15 years, right? But there are guys that are younger now that maybe don't have the wins yet that I would pick over Pulev. Like Daniel Dubois, I'm picking Daniel Dubois over Pulev.
Yeah, that was the name I was going to give.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. But again, if I just had ranked them based on what they've done so far, you can't put Dubois.
No, of course. I'm adding an eye test and things that I'm, inferring from fights, of course. But we don't need to talk about this anymore. I think whatever happens, Pulev in a title fight is just no one wants that. That's just is an ugly fight, most likely, whoever it's against. Moving on, though, what would be the next fight that I want to talk about? Let's talk about Esquiva Falcao defeating Manny Woods. Falcao, a silver medalist from the 2016 Olympics, a guy that is purely on the top-ranked diet. He is 25-0 now with, I think, like 19 or 20 knockouts. Hasn't beaten anyone in the top 10 yet or the top 15 yet at 160. I am ready for him to take a step up. Gary, did you watch the undercard and did you watch this fight? And thoughts on Falcao and his ability to step up and maybe a Murata Brandt winner sort of matchup?
That would be a big step up, right?
It would be.
He's fighting nobody. But yeah, I mean, he's 29 now. I just looked it up. He's 29. He looked good. Like
he did, yeah.
His punches are thudding. He throws nice shots. It's Murata would be a good name. Brandt, someone like that. Let him fight a real guy, real 160 pounder, and let's see how he looks. Right? Because this is like he's had 25 fights now, I think.
Yes, 25.
And this is still the level of guy he's fighting.
And the thing is, like, he's not bad either. Like, he's always been a good prospect too. Like, that's the weird part.
Good. I think he's good.
And he's always he's always been good. It's not like he's just now good at 29 years old. Like, he's been good since the Olympics, and they've just put him on every card. They've fed him the diet of top rank, and it's just been bad fight after bad fight in terms of name opponent or lack thereof. But I think Brandt, Murata, those are the names you put him up there next, and those are fun fights. I think Esquiva Falcao is definitely a like Brian Castano like light, like the diet version of that. But those types of fighters are fun to watch, and they are great top 10 fillers. They're not really the best championship caliber fighter, but they're great top 7 guy, top 8 guy, top 9 guy, and they give all the champions tough fights. That's what I expect for Falcao. I can see him giving a lot of these guys tough fights. I can see Falcao giving even guys like Andrade a tough going. Not win it, but I can see him definitely giving him a tough fight. So I'm ready for Falcao to take a step up.
He should fight Artur Akavov next.
I mean, yeah.
Just the name from before, right? I mean, but that's better than anything he's fought recently. Have him fight Hugo Centennial. Have him fight real guy.
Emmanuel Alim.
Yeah.
There
you go. Yeah, I like that.
Some of those fights, like those guys are out there too. You can go snatch them up and make a fight on top rank. Probably there's not like they're big PBC names out there they have to worry about. Give him that top 30, top 20 name that he needs desperately at this point in time. Moving on, Amir Ahman picking up a much needed comeback KO win against Marcos Mojica, whatever. Amir Ahman.
It's a soft J.
Is it? Okay. You never know. Ahman, I mean, he looked good, but it's the same Ahman we've seen from time to time, and I think he's sort of this top 25-ish guy now, and that's kind of what he is.
Yeah, Amir Ahman's going to look good until he fights somebody good.
Yep, that's usually the case. Robeisy Ramirez picked up his first win in the pros after his pro debut where he had lost, defeating Fernando Ibarra de Adonda. And, I mean, whatever at this point in time. Robeisy Ramirez is not looking that great, in my opinion. Who else? Gabriel Flores Jr. I actually did not watch that fight. I did not see that one.
I didn't get to watch Flores Jr. or Robisky. I'm going to go back and watch those, but I hadn't got to watch those fights
And
yet.
I did not have time to watch the Janabek Ali McCuno fight against Albert Onalus. I've not seen that one yet, but I want to watch that one. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't. I haven't watched that one either.
But that's pretty much all the fights this weekend. We did have a UK card on ESPN Plus with Chantel Cameron and Liam Walsh. I've not watched that yet, and I don't have time to watch it at this point in time, but I'm going to go back and watch at least those 2 fights. I think there's also a Showbox card or a UFC Fight Pass card on Friday or Thursday, I'm forgetting, that we didn't really talk about, but I still haven't watched it. And obviously, if you want the Inoue Donaire review, we did that show on Saturday, so go check out that show if you want if you want to hear us review the actual boxing that happened this weekend.